Does that mean I'm live when you do 3, 2, 1? So is what I'm doing right now, like people are watching that? That's cool. Hey everybody, it's me, Hank Patterson, your supreme leader. I was sitting here reading the comments and somebody said something about supreme leader, and I thought, oh hell, I should probably introduce myself as a supreme leader and then quickly back off of that statement like as fast as I can. Fly fishing expert and guide Hank Patterson, and this is Beers with Hank. My first live stream in quite a long time. I've been podcasting and fishing and just sort of taking a break for the last, I don't know how long. It doesn't matter, right? I've only put out a couple of videos and in the last year and a half or something like that. But I thought, oh man, I should probably put out some more videos, and I should start by doing a live cast, because that's like the easiest video of all to make is a live one, because you don't have to, there's not a bunch of cameras, you don't have to edit it, and then shocker, I didn't write what I'm saying right now. This is all just off the top of my head, so minimal effort has gone into what you're watching right now. And as you all know, if you know me very well, you know that if the bar ain't high, I'm your guy. What I gravitate towards low bars. That's sort of the motto for my life, is find something with a low bar and become an expert at it, because it's something that you can be an expert at really fast. So anyway, first of all, hey, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for caring, because I care. And you clearly, either had absolutely nothing else to do, or you have DVR, which means you can record whatever is better to watch, which is quite a bit of stuff on the cable. Or you have streaming services, so you can watch other things that are worth watching at your own leisure. But thanks for being here. So Beers with Hank. So I'm going to start this evening. I'm going to have, this is a Hotbox coffee porter from my friends over at Oscar Blues Brewery. And if you're watching this, well, I guess you are watching this. That was a stupid thing to say. And Jake, my buddy Jake over here, he's running the camera and everything. So every night, if you have a question for Jake, or if you don't like the way this is looking, it's Jake's fault. And I'll give you his information later. But no, if since you're watching this, make sure to let the guys over at Oscar Blues know that they should send me a check, some sort of a sponsorship check for drinking their beer during Beers with Hanks. Cheers, everyone. I hope that you're all enjoying a beer. I saw earlier that Stacy is, because of the Keto Diet. And what that is Keto Diet is a thing where you only eat bread. And it's cereals and breads, and that's all you eat, and sugared goods, and which is delicious. And so it's a fantastic diet. But apparently, as a part of that diet, you're not supposed to drink beer. And so she's having a vodka. So Stacy, enjoy your vodka. We'll enjoy our beer. I saw earlier someone else was having whiskey, which is, of course, distilled beer. You can get a 12-pack in one, single, a little flask. So anyway, tonight, what are we going to talk about? I'm going to read some of your comments. Cheers, Hank. Bourbon for chasing feathers. Cheers to you. Cracking a Hams. Man, a Hams. Now, that's top shelf beer right there, as far as I'm concerned, because the old school, cheaper beers, Keystone Light, Schaefer Light. If anybody out there knows where I can find a Schaefer Light, please let me know, or please mail me one. I don't know if you're supposed to legally mail beer, so wrap it in something that doesn't look like a beer and mail it to me that way. But if you can find a Schaefer Light, man, I tell you, I grew up on that beer, and I would love to have a Schaefer Light just to remind myself why I stopped drinking it. Keystone, Hams, Pabst, all those are just fantastic. I had what is it, the one? Rainier. When I was up, I fished the Yakima River with Sawyer oars a few months ago, and they brought Rainier, and I appreciated it, and I loved it, and those guys it was super nice of them to pay my way and let me fish from their boat and bring me lunch. And if you want Sawyer oars, to buy you a plane ticket and float you down the Yakima River and bring you lunch and Rainier beer. Just make a funny video and then send it to them and just put their logo on it, and then they owe you. Then they'll be, I think, legally obligated if you put their logo on your video, any video, and even if nobody else finds it funny, if you find it funny, then I believe that's how it works. They're legally obligated to fly you out to Yakima. Some of the people, if you're from there, I think it's Yakima. So I say Yakima. I'm from Idaho, right? But if I'm up there and I'm getting a cab and I don't want some guy to shank me, right? If I'm getting a cab and I don't want to look like an out-of-towner, you go and you get a cab in a town, or what do you call that, Jake? The Uber. You always want to make sure you know how to say things. And if you're in Yakima, it's Yakima. Or else, because if they find out, oh man, this guy said Yakima, we know he's not from here, you're going to get stabbed. That's just traveling 101, folks. And these are the sorts of tips you can expect for the rest of the evening from me, is just that sort of information. That's not what we're here to talk about, but I'm saving lives, one Yakima trip at a time. Just fired up a tasty nug. What does that mean? Old Chub is here. Oh wait, no, that's the Old Chub is. I don't. Are you drinking Old Chub? What does Old Chub mean? I need to.
That's a beer.
Is it a beer? Mm-hmm. Good, because where the other Old Chub was going is I needed a clarification on that. Hello from Minnesota, Paralyzer to the Choke Bam. Hold on. People ask me where Paralyzer to the Chode came from. My nephew, Dane, played football. And so I decided, he was quarterback, and I thought to myself, the people were rushing him, and, every now and then he'd be on a team that had, and not to call anybody out, but a shitty offensive line. And so they'd get through there, and they'd tackle my nephew. And so I talked to the team, and I sat the boys down, and I said, hey, here's the thing. If you're facing a defensive line, if you're a guy bigger than you is going to come at you, and he's going to get through you to my nephew, what you need to do is drop to one knee and bam, paralyzer right to the chode. You right up into there, and that'll surprise a defensive lineman, right? And so that's gonna stand him up. And then so after I talked to them, and they started to employ that as a part of their football team, and long story short, they were kicked out of the state championship for it. But that's neither here nor there. They didn't get a sack on the kid. But the point being is that I thought about that, long and hard. And so one time I was thinking about how do you survive a grizzly bear attack? And I thought, well, it's the same sort of thing. And people tell me all the time, it's like, I think if you did the paralyzer to the chode, if you let a grizzly bear get that close to you, somebody's going to get killed. I mean, if they follow your advice, somebody's going to get killed. And to which I say, try it. Just try it. Look, okay, if you get killed, then we both know it didn't work. Okay, but until then, I'm telling you, paralyzer to the chode, it's a good way to go. Hey, another thing I want to mention, Cousin Wally's here. And so if you know the videos and you know some of the past stuff we've done, he was in the Halloween one we just did. He's part of Camp Hagadagada. He's been, we had him spray himself with bear spray at one point. So that's a guy willing to take one for the team. And so he's going to be here pretty soon and join in on the conversation fairly soon because he has to leave early. Because he just remembered that his dog is in doggy daycare or some shit. I don't know. He's got to go pick up a dog. So just so you know. So let me read a couple more So I'm looking over here because I'm looking at your comments and I'd love to answer some questions. I got a couple of email questions I'll answer here in a little bit. Love listening to your podcast, especially when you're eating and talking. Well, on that note, I brought some snacks. I do have corn nuts, and I hope that you all have some snacks. Wally, come on in, buddy. So Wally's here now. He's going to join us. Hold on. So, no, you got to move the chair over here. Move the chair over here. Nobody can see you. Yeah, just sit right there. Doesn't matter. Okay, so, hey, buddy.
Hey.
Nobody can hear you yet. Just you hang tough. So, Cousin Wally's here. I should have mentioned this before the podcast started. Let's get a microphone over here for Wally. You don't have to make out with the microphone either. You just talk in the general. Yeah, right there. Right there. And then is most of the microphone covering his face, Jake? Good. Good. Okay, so I should have mentioned before we started, make sure to have a snack. Because, I mean, we're in this, I think we're going to go 7 to 9 hours tonight. And so make sure that you have a snack at the ready. Or that, I guess where you're at, you can just go to the kitchen. Hopefully you're watching it on a laptop and you can just go to the kitchen.
My dog's in daycare.
So Wally's dog is in daycare. So I'll say this really quick. If anybody has any questions for Wally, well, first of all, Wally, could you talk a little bit about the beer that you brought?
Oh man. Well, for me, I brought a Montana mixer.
Yeah, just into the microphone.
Yeah, right. From our favorite.
I got it. I'll hold it. I'll hold it.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Nope.
He brought a Montana mixer.
Big Sky Brewing. One of our favorite places on this.
Well, fantastic group of people at Big Sky Brewing up there in Missoula, Montana.
We got the orange.
We've got an orange one. And so it's a new one from Big Sky, and it tastes like an orange creamsicle mixed with beer. Delicious beer.
It's Big Sky IPA.
It's an IPA that tastes exactly like an orange
One
creamsicle.
I just finished is Shake a Day.
You just finished a Shake a Day, and that's
pretty
like
good. It's pretty good. Not as good as Pygmy Owl, but
what do you got for me?
Yep.
I like the Pygmy Owl is maybe my favorite of their beers.
We've got this one called Huck It. Good
That's
name,
Huck
Big
It.
Sky. Good name.
Good one.
Okay.
Huck It. Nice.
Huckleberry Blonde Ale.
Okay.
You can have that.
Yeah, we're not doing a commercial for
I like
these
Huckleberry
people,
milkshakes.
so I don't want a Huckleberry.
And then there's a Moose Drool.
I want
Old
that.
staple.
I want that.
No.
So, all right. So,
brought something
okay.
special for
You
you.
brought some snacks. Ooh.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
I'll drink that. Okay, so we've got a Lewis and Clark Prickly Pear Pale Ale. Because if you know me, you know how much I hate Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark, first of all, we're going to do a podcast pretty soon about hot spotting or sharing secret spots. And so what is the etiquette about sharing secret spots and hot spotting? And, you know, I say this out loud and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to tune in next week. There's going to be 5 videos about hot spotting. But anyway, so we're going to do a hot spotting video. And as far as I'm concerned, the original hot spotters, hey, we're going to give away all the information, all the good spots, all the good fishing holes. We're going to broadcast it to the world. Are them sons to bitches, Lewis and Clark. And, you know, on their way out to discover the Pacific Ocean in Oregon. Cheers, buddy.
Oh, cheers to you.
They became the original hot spotters, Lewis and Clark. Mm-hmm. That is who's that out of? That's a pale ale, prickly pear pale ale. It tastes sort of like I'm licking a, who's that? Who makes that beer?
Lewis
I don't
and Clark.
know. Oh, it's Lewis and Clark Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hot damn. There you go, right there.
Maybe I should
and
try
so
one of those.
maybe their motto should be something about how, you know, share. You want this beer?
Yeah, hand
want
me
the
a
Moose
Lewis
Drool?
and Clark. Yeah. No, I want to try the Lewis and Clark.
Well, you want that one? I'll drink the
I'm
Moose
a
Drool.
Big Sky guy, but
Well, yeah,
I'll try it.
That's good beer. All right, so let's look at a couple. Prickly Pear is my fave from Helena, from Mosley, Montana. It's good beer. That's tasty beer.
Hint of ginger.
I would say, when's Wally going to be on the podcast? That's from Chasing Feathers. When, Wally, are you going to come and be on the podcast? He's just trying to figure out what episode should I skip.
No, I'm waiting for the right one.
We actually have discussed the podcast that we're going to have. Do you remember the topic of the podcast when you're going to be on it? Do you remember our topic that we had?
No. No.
Where things that you've taught or things you've discovered while camping, or some shit like that. It was your idea.
Oh, yeah,
I don't remember.
It was
It doesn't
a good idea,
matter.
too.
So next month, in the month of February, by
Happy
God,
accidents.
in the month of February, we're gonna have Wally come be on the podcast, and it's gonna be everything that he's said and done so far, more on the podcast. Jake, you have a funny question that you're seeing over there?
Yeah.
Is that a Bigfoot on your right?
Is that a Bigfoot on your right? What's up with Wally's hat? Wally, do you have a story about your hat? It's the Wally hat. It's a good hat.
This hat was given to me by a really drunk girl in Alaska.
Is that true? On our trip?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Who gave you that hat? The really drunk girl in Alaska gave you that hat?
The thing about meeting really drunk girls is
Oh no. Don't.
no, it's true.
It's a
Is
family.
that
It's a family
every time
show.
I meet a really drunk girl, I am also really drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And so I don't remember her name.
Oh, okay. But she gave you that hat.
Yeah, but
I actually didn't know that. This is a great story. I had no idea that Wally had that hat given to him on a trip to Alaska that we took with Joel from Montana Troutaholics.
Oh, maybe it was Joel. No,
Joel
it was the blonde.
Okay.
I spent 3 days with her, but, does her name matter?
Oh!
Doesn't matter.
The girl that hosted us on the
That's the
trip.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't remember her name?
Yep. Maybe it's a different hat.
I can't think of it.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. All right. Did that drunk girl give you... I'm steering clear of all of this conversation now. But I am excited because I thought you just owned that hat or you went and bought that hat. It's that hat is like, you're the Baloo Bear of the Hank Patterson episodes, as far as I'm concerned. And I mean
sure how
that
to
with,
take that.
you should take it well, because Baloo is absolutely my
I do
favorite
like
character. Baloo Bear is a fantastic.
How about that Pooh, too?
Yeah, the Pooh Bear?
Well, yeah.
The new Winnie the Pooh movie, by the way, fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, it came out a couple of years ago, but it is actually truly a fantastic movie. We've gotten off track if we're talking about the Winnie the Pooh movie on a live stream. Let me talk a little bit about this. So I've gotten, emails or whatever, and people are like, oh man, where you been? What have you been up to? If you don't know, we've been doing a podcast, and the podcast is called Hank Patterson's Outdoor Misadventures, and you can find it pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So the iTunes and Google and Podbean and Spotify, and Hank Patterson's Outdoor Misadventures. Been super fun. I really like doing a podcast because, like doing this right now, very little effort. It just takes very little effort, and the bar again is low. And so people ask, so what's the podcast about? It's about just the outdoors. It's about camping and fishing and hunting. But the difference between beer and the difference between that podcast and maybe some of the other outdoor podcasts is you will not learn anything on mine, and that's a promise from me. You will learn absolutely nothing listening to my podcast, and I promise you, and you'll be left just wanting much less every single time. And so that's what we're trying to do. Just take it a whole different, avenue,
level of nothing,
a level of nothingness. And so somebody might say, well, name an episode. What was that episode about? Nothing at all. It wasn't about anything. Nobody learned anything. We just had a conversation. We had some laughs. We had some beer. We had some snacks, and we had a hell of a good time. And so if you like having a hell of a good time, then listen to the podcast, Hank Patterson's what the fuck's it called? Or what the heck's it called? Sorry. It's Outdoor Misadventures.
Happens, folks.
It happens. Things. I said before starting this episode, just make sure that we keep the language.
No, really, the podcast is great. I've almost listened to 2, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've been listening to them lately and editing them myself. So Alex is typically, who's on a lot of the episodes, was editing them, but she just kept falling asleep, and she just got so sick of editing it that I finally had to take over. And when I'm editing them, I'll barely scrub through most of it. I scrub through most of it. No, it's great. It's super fun, and I hope you come. Hey, another thing to say about what I've been up to, I've got a new film, Hank Patterson's.
Do you do?
I do. I didn't. You're not in it. Guide School. It's Hank Patterson's Guide School, and it's part of the F3T Fly Fishing Film Tour. So if the F3T Fly Fishing Film Tour comes anywhere near you, make sure to go check it out. I'm in the second reel, the second half of the show. So if you show up at intermission... No, you should show up at the beginning and watch the films. I have not seen all the other films yet. I'm super stoked. I'll be in Boise on February 8th, Saturday night, February 8th. So if you're anywhere near Boise, February 8th, the Fly Fishing Film Tour will be here, and I'll be there. Some other places that I'll be, just in case, what the hell? Maybe you'll be there too.
I will.
And we can hang out. You're invited, Wally. I got a few live shows coming up, not a ton. So I'll be in Denver on March 5th for a Trout Unlimited banquet, and I believe that if you can buy a ticket or whatever to go to the Trout Unlimited banquet in Denver on March 5th. If you're interested in any of these, email me and I'll try to tell you how you can be there. On April 3rd, I'll be in Boise at the Henry's Fork Foundation, keynote speaker. Keynote
those
speaker.
guys.
This is how desperate it's gotten for them. That this is the best they could do. May 13th in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll be speaking at a Real Recovery fundraiser. Real Recovery, which is, near and dear to me. And we take men with cancer on fly fishing excursions. So I'll be down there speaking at a fundraiser in Texas. And I like the Dallas Cowboys. And so that's, and this is the best time to see the Cowboys during the off season. Ba-dum-bum. That was good.
Right,
that was good.
That
That
was
was solid. That was solid. Write that down. Message me at hambone@troutjousters.com. Hambone@troutjousters.com if you want any information. And I'm thinking about doing some other live shows in the fall or summer. I don't know when the hell. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We got to find a venue that'll hold 30 people for me to come to town.
And a keg of beer.
So yeah, it's got to have. If I'm gonna do a live show in your town, a keg of beer, right? A Super 8,
Good and plenties.
some Good and Plenties, and a venue that'll hold 15 to 30 people.
That's your rider.
Okay, so that because if it holds 30 people, we can squeeze all 12 in. And everybody gets 2 seats, one for their beer, one for themselves. You can pass out and not feel like you're crowding anybody. So that's why we're doing that. Wally, did you bring any snacks? Wally brought a snack that we pick up in Ashton, Idaho when we're traveling over there and fishing the Henry's Fork.
I did.
Could you... Oh, did I steal your thunder? You've got it on your... Yeah, it looks like...
Yeah,
you should wipe your
on the way
lip.
over.
It's
Traffic,
making me
you know?
sick.
You
I
gotta
don't
do
know.
something.
What about Moose Lodge in Maine? Ooh, Wilson's on Moosehead Lake in Maine is a place that we are thinking about going this fall.
man.
If anybody's interested in doing a hosted trip to either Montana or Wilson's on Moosehead Lake in Maine, like in the fall, then hambone@troutjousters.com, and we're going to try to set up a hosted trip.
You know,
A
it's funny.
hosted trip means what I do is I try to get you guys to pay for a trip, and then I sucker the venue into letting me come for free. And that's how I live the lifestyle that I live. Which, I mean, look at this venue that I've got right here. Look at this office. We're in a walk-in closet.
Pretty hot digs.
Yeah, go wide. Yeah. We're in a walk-in closet. My table is just some like storage crates.
Totes. They're
Right,
the best.
some totes that I got at Costco, and that send Costco a bill for that plug. Speaking of snacks, Dot's pretzels are the best, but they also have Mr. Dot's milk chocolate Dot's pretzels.
on that?
That sounds good. This guy says, I run a campground. You can stay in a yurt. I would do that. Bergie, where's that at? Where Bergie's Trading Post? Let us know where that's at, and let us know what the fishing's like.
All right. I'm not flipping you off. I'm just holding it.
What did the fish say when he hit his head? Right. Damn. That's good. Solid material. Thank you for sharing that.
This is
Go ahead, Wally.
Chiz's Ranch Dressing from St. Anthony, Idaho. Amazing stuff. Goes great with
Chiz's.
And
You dip stuff in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You what do you dip in Chiz's?
Well, you
Wally,
can dip a lot of
Did
things.
you bring anything?
I
to
live
put in it?
pretty much.
It's like a ranch dressing style dip that we enjoy very
Carrots.
much.
So you got to
And
do
you
the
do
1-to-1
carrots, yeah.
ratio.
1-to-1. So as much Chiz's as carrot.
Yep. Yep.
Oh God.
Good and creamy.
That's something special. It tastes like ranch dressing. So that's good to have.
That is awesome to have.
I love listening to you guys while working on homework. That can't be good for your grades. So when you're doing homework, answer me this question. When you're doing homework and you're listening to the podcast, what are you studying and what grade are you getting? Like, what are you in college? Are you in? Tell me, give me some more information about what you're doing. Hey, friends. Well, hey, Michelle Babcock, a co-conspirator in Real Recovery, Idaho, has just said, "Hey, friends." Throwing around the word friend. Huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll hear about that. I'll get a text about that.
Notice he's plural.
Anyway, hey, so here's some questions that I had that came because I announced that, hey, we're going to do a live stream tonight. I'm having an M&M. And so I said, hey, email me some questions. I got a couple of questions. And I want to answer them now so I don't have to email these people back. Jim Cole asked, what is the worst fly rod you've ever purchased? And what is the best fly rod you have ever purchased? And I'm here to tell you that it's the exact same fly rod. Because here's the thing. It's just, if you want it, you need to figure out how to get free fly rods. And I'm telling you, I've got it. I got this thing dialed, folks. All you got to do is make a mildly amusing fishing video and then tell somebody that you just want to put their stuff in it, and then they send it to you. So when Reese and me made the very first ever Hank Patterson video, that was supposed to be it. You know, we were like, okay, we made a video, and it was funny, and we're done. We're tapping out. And then somebody called me, Kara was her name, and Kara Armano, who is now with Trout Unlimited. She may not even know this story. She's certainly she's not listening to this, but if you know her, tell her hi. So Kara calls me, and she's working for, I can't remember who. Anyway, she calls me, and she says, hey, we'd like to send you some waders for you to wear in our next video. And I'm like, what? And she's like, do you have another video coming out? And I'm like, I do. We do now. And so then I thought, well, and I always have a problem with, pissing in my waders. Every time I go to take a leak and I'm fishing, a wind comes up, I'm pissing all over myself. And so I happened to mention that. So they had a wader with a zipper, right? And like a big barn door. And so anyway, so then we made that video. Then, some folks at another fly fishing company said, hey, we'd like to send you some boots, Sims. And then I said, that's funny because we're about to do an episode about boots. Then we just started talking about things that we should do a video about and the effort was, how can we get something for free? And so and it worked. It was fantastic. So I'm giving you advice. I'm just saying that's what you should do, and then you don't ever have to buy anything. Now here's the thing. Stock up on all that stuff, right? So if people send you fly rods, or they send you waders, they send you boots, you can have people like Wally, right? Like Anya, it's like, oh, why don't I get a free fly rod? Or oh, why don't I get some boots or something like that, right? And so, but you can't give them away to people like Wally. Right, you hoard it. You have to hoard it because eventually, and we're seeing it now, eventually they get real tired of you. And so, go figure, right? And eventually they get real tired of you and they stop sending you stuff.
Calling you
so
stingy.
It's like, and then they expect you to keep, making videos and whatever. So what I'm saying is I've got a garage. And I'm not giving out my address, but I mean, it's like a fly shop in there,
really
right? And
yeah.
And so people are like, why haven't you been making as many videos? And I've got all the shit that I need. So why should I? No, but I'm just kidding. I love making the videos, but part of that was true.
You're not answering the question because really, he's talking about fly rods there.
So the question is, what is the worst fly rod?
Fly rod I ever bought.
Yeah.
I bought online.
Okay.
And it had a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and then it broke. And I called this company up. They're out of business. I didn't know it wasn't my lifetime. It was their lifetime.
That's the problem.
Right?
Yeah. If you get I hadn't thought of that. So if you're going to buy a fly rod from a company that looks like they might, be on the edge of bankruptcy, you might want to not get that fly rod.
The best fly rod I ever bought, I
Yeah.
didn't really buy it. I just snuck into your garage and stole it. But
Was?
the one I stole from you.
Yeah. Oh,
it's the H3. It's awesome.
It is.
It
It's
is
a great
awesome.
fly rod.
And it can't beat the price. I mean,
Yeah.
it cost me,
Not much
a few
is
bucks
what
for
it
a
cost you.
crowbar.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll say this. Scott Rods sent me a rod a few years back. It's phenomenal.
Radiant is amazing.
But here's the thing. If you've seen the videos, you've seen like my casting, and you've maybe even seen Wally's casting, and so does
Right.
the rod really matter at one point? Because here's what you should buy. If the question really, Jim, is what fly rod should I buy, I have to kick this back to you, and you're going to have to email me how much money you got. I mean, what are you worth? You a brain surgeon? Do you work in a fly shop? What's the Wally's getting a call?
That's my alarm.
You're getting.
I got to pick up the dog.
Yeah, you got to go pick up the dog. So the answer to the question really is, what can you afford? Because I'm telling you, like, fly rods will catch fish, and unless you're like really great at casting, I love my H3. But there's no doubt that a lot of people can cast an H3, half as good as me. Anyway, so yeah, how much money do you have? If you have a lot of expendable cash, then just go buy the nicest, most expensive fly rod money can buy. But
if you don't, you still want his.
Well, yeah, and a really good fly rod will make you a slightly better caster, but it won't make you a good caster if you suck at it. Well, I mean, Wally's perfect proof of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go?
Yeah, I do.
Wally's got to go. Say goodbye to Wally, everyone.
I am going to take...
Wally, God.
Nope.
All right. What a blessing and a curse to have Wally here.
There's still traffic out there.
Don't make your exit take a long time. People don't want to deal with that.
Sorry about the beer I spilled.
Robert got back to you.
Look into Wolfman Custom Rods if you want to drop some cash. I will look into those. I have not heard of Wolfman Custom Rods, but I will. Wally, thank you for being here.
You bet.
Good luck with your dog. G. Loomis. I casted G. Loomis 0 weight rod fishing for brook trout in West Virginia, and it was too much rod. Which tells you everything you need to know about the size of the brook trout that I was fishing for in West Virginia. Fantastic rod, actually. And I had never casted G. Loomis before. And I thought it was fantastic. It made my, halfway decent casting decent. From halfway to decent. Moonshine Rod Company, H3, the way to go. I love my H3. I really do. And I'm not just saying that as a part of, a video series. I actually really do like that fly rod. But like I said, I've fished with, get what you can afford and go catch fish is what it's all about. And go out and cast and try them out. But man, if you got like $30 and you got to go down to the pawn shop to get a fly rod, you go spend $30 and get a fly rod at a pawn shop. Shit, man, you catch fish. Go out and have a good time. It's, you don't have to look pretty like I do. We were all thinking it. We were all thinking, well, but Hank, you look pretty. I love my Sage. Yep, yeah. Coworker picked up a 4-weight H3. It's super nice. Yes. See? And then what did he got back to me? Jim did.
Robert did.
Oh, Robert did. What did I ask Robert about? His camping grounds?
High school.
Oh, you're in high school. Oh, well then hell yeah, you should be listening to me while you kidding me? Yeah. I didn't even study in high school and look where I am. Parents, gather your high school children. You could do like that Scared Straight program right now. Like if you have a high schooler in the house, you just gather them all up and you're like, do you want to be like this? Is this what you want to do? Sitting in a walk-in closet doing a live stream for a group of like degenerate drunks? Is this where you want your life to go? But unfortunately, the answer might be, well, yeah, that looks super fun. And it is. Okay, so moving on. So I had we should do a giveaway. We should give something away. So, hey, check it out. I have a new design, a new t-shirt and sweatshirt design coming out tomorrow. It'll be on the hankpatterson.com at the store sometime starting tomorrow. And Wally forgot his phone. Here. God. No, here. Yeah. Take your phone. All right. So, so you're looking at it right now. So that's the new design. And so it's Dry Fly Fanatic. See how I spelled that? Fanatic. And it's just a subtle design, just a real casual. I said to my designer, I said, hey, we want something that's just not all in your face and weird. And this is what we came up with. Actually, I told them, I said, what I want is this. And it wasn't as weird in the early going. And I said, no, weirder. And that to me, this image captures the true Dry Fly Fanatic. And so that's a new design. So that'll come out tomorrow. All right, back to me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey everybody. And so that's exciting. I did want to mention that just in case somebody wanted to give me some money. What else are we talking about? Oh, the giveaway. That's why we did that. So let's give away, the very first ever giveaway of that design on a t-shirt. And here's the question. Jake's going to watch the answers. And the first person to answer this question correctly will win that shirt, a shirt with the fanatic on it. The Hank Patterson fanatic. Here's the question. In the Yellowstone podcast, so this is for the people that listen to the podcast, the Surviving Yellowstone podcast, and we'll do some other giveaways here in a minute that have nothing to do with the podcast. I tell you to find your who. Meaning, okay, so I say, you need someone who's, like, if you go to Yellowstone, you need somebody that's less athletic than you, slower than you. You need a fat guy, right? Somebody that can't move. Maybe he's got a bad ankle or a bad knee or like trick knees or something like that. You need to take that person with you in case you run into a pack of wolves or a grizzly bear. And in the episode, I say, find your who.
Looks like Sarah P got it.
Sarah P. What did she say? Jerry. Good. Man, there's a lot of people that got it. Gary. No. Sean. That's close. Jerry. So, Sarah P. Do me a favor. Send me your name and your address and the size. That sounds sketch. But no, send me your name and your address and what size t-shirt you would like, and I will send you that. Email me, hambone@troutjousters.com. hambone@troutjousters.com. Okay, let's do another giveaway. Man, you guys, good job, everyone. I mean, man, there were a lot of people that knew it was Jerry. Okay, one said Gary, and that was pretty close. Okay, so next question is this. What brand of beer did I drink in Hank Patterson's Real Montana Adventure, which is like a movie that we put out a few years back? What brand of beer did I drink during that? They literally put a pallet of their beer in the back of my pickup. It was fantastic people. I got a pallet of beer. And Jake's looking at me like, why didn't I get any of that beer? What the hell? Where the hell was I? You were there. You drank half that pallet. It was not PBR. Big Sky is the answer. Who got that first? Schlitz, man. Oh, it wasn't. Eric Shipper. Hambone@troutjousters.com. Address, t-shirt size. Send it to me. Let me say this. Schlitz, man. Who brought up Schlitz? Kyle McSee. Oh, man. Yeah. I haven't had a Schlitz in a long time. You really forget about Schlitz. Schlitz. I'll tell you what. The next time I make a video, it's Schlitz. I'm drinking that just so I can say it. What are you having, Hank? I'm having a Schlitz. Hey, have me another Schlitz. You know what I could go for? Can of Schlitz. It's just funny to say. The more you say it, the funnier it gets. I might just come up with a middle name. I'm Hank Patterson. I'm Hank Schlitz Patterson. Hi, I'm Hank Patterson. Schlitz drinker. Schlit balls. Jake came up with that. Olympia. Oh man, a stubby of Oli. Oh, you kidding me? Man, you're just taking me back to middle school. All right, let's talk about. We'll do some other giveaways in a minute. Let me answer another question. Josh Pryor. Josh sent me this question: how often do grizzly bears kidnap people? And if I'm kidnapped, what should I do? They never. They don't. Grizzly bears never kidnap people. If you feel like you're being kidnapped by a grizzly bear, you're about to die. So just so you know, and just so that I don't want you to find yourself in a situation where a grizzly bear is dragging you back to his house or wherever they live, and you're thinking, I'm being kidnapped, and does this bear even know how to use the phone to call my mom and ask for ransom? And, so I don't want you to fall prey to the idea that a grizzly bear is dragging you away to kidnap you. It's dragging you. What grizzly bears will do in that situation is they're just taunting. They're playing with you like you're a mouse, like a cat, right? You're the mouse. That's the cat. But eventually they're going to get bored of you, depending on, how well-spoken you are, what kind of stories you tell, if you can juggle. I mean, if you can juggle, then they're going to keep you around for a while, but eventually they're going to bore of you and eat you. So they don't, grizzly bears don't kidnap people. Wolves, on the other hand, all the time. It's, they estimate 1,500 people a month in Yellowstone National Park, folks, are kidnapped by wolves. And that's just one of the many problems that they're having with wolves in Yellowstone Park right now. Carjackings. the kidnappings, the soda machines are being broken into, the gift shops are being broken into. I've been to Yellowstone this summer, and they were like, sorry folks, no more ice cream, no more triple scoops. Wolves got in here last night and cleared us out. So it's becoming a real problem and something they're gonna have to face. They might want to stop serving that elk flavored ice cream. And that's something and I'm throwing it out there to the folks at Yellowstone. If you're gonna serve the elk blood flavored ice cream, you're going to have a wolf problem. And so, you're kind of asking for it in that case. What else did I want to talk about? Did I already talk about the fact that you can tune in to a live stream with me every single month if you're part of the Hank Patterson Pro staff at patreon.com/Hank Patterson. That's Patreon, patreon.com/Hank Patterson. So for people that listen to the podcast, that enjoy the podcast, we do a subscription model on patreon.com/Hank Patterson, where people subscribe to the show and they get an extra episode and they get a live stream just like this one every single month. And so if you're not bored to tears, and if you are, then you shouldn't go there, and you shouldn't do it because why? Later, Wally. Oh, I'm behind on my comments, I think. If you were to have Tom Rosenbauer shoot an on-location video anywhere in the world, where would it be? Man, I got to think about that because, I got to think about where I would... If I was going to have Tom Rosenbauer shoot an on-location video anywhere in the world, where would it be? Kansas? Or, I don't know, Omaha? Maybe in Omaha? Now, if I was going to be shooting an on-location video, like the Seychelles... something like that. But if it's Tom, Omaha, Kansas, Missouri, I don't know, somewhere like that. But if it's me, if the question is where would I like to go, New Zealand, I wouldn't mind going to Iceland. I'd love to go to Australia, somewhere like that. But Tom, like Kuna, Idaho would be a good place if he wants to, it's not far from here. And so here's how we could work that out. I could go to New Zealand for a month and fish down there with those guys and hang out. And then Tom could come up and fish like the waters around my house and watch my dog. And so then he'd have an opportunity to watch my dog and maybe take care of the house. And if we did it in the summer months, he could mow my yard. So that'd be nice. So if anybody knows Tom, just let him know that he's invited to come and watch my dog, babysit the house, and mow my yard for a month this summer. And also, would you let Tom know that the Orvis Corporation is going to have to put up the money for me to go to New Zealand? Okay, nymphs versus power bait. Same thing. A nymph is just basically, it's power bait with a bead head. So, it's the same thing, right? Bobber. Anyway, nymphs all day long. But okay, before I get the hate on nymphs, it's just... I've said it a million times. You want to catch fish, learn how to fish with a nymph, okay? So I'm going to back away from that argument. You need to drink that beer faster, yeah. Amen. I need to decide which one I'm drinking. Wilson Ponds in Nampa, Idaho. Carlos, hey, you emailed me today. And that's as much as I'll, And it was great. Thank you very much for emailing me today. Carlos runs an organization that I believe... It was just today, and so I'm going off of memory here, but I believe they take veterans on fly fishing excursions, and so that's cool. What else do we have? Have you fished anywhere in Canada? BC, on the Bulkley River with April Vokey, name dropping, only because she was fantastic and taught me a lot. About swinging for steelhead. Caught my first ever steelhead on swing on the Bulkley River in BC, Canada. So yes. So I guess I could have just said yes. Have you fished anywhere in Canada? Nuh-huh. And then we would have been done. Okay, so ever fish Rocky River? I have not, to my knowledge. I've fished rivers that later I thought, where the hell was that? What was that called? Remember that one time, Jake, when we fished that one time and we shot that video and then we got on the plane and I was like, what the hell, where the hell were we at just now? And then you tried to answer, but I was like, I'm trying to sleep because I was trying to sleep on the plane. Anyway, have you ever fished the San Juan? I have. My mother lives in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. And my mom, wonderful lady, raised me, treated me right, Christmas presents, worked 9 jobs. She's that kind of a person. Love her to death. I taught her how to fish. We're even. Okay. So yeah, my mom lives in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, so I fished the San Juan there. And was I on the San Juan near Taos, New Mexico? See, this is a case where I fished near Taos, New Mexico, or if you're, like I said, if you're local, Teos. Like if you ever go there and you're, and you, like I said, if you're getting an Uber and you don't want to get shanked, right? If you don't want them to, like, suddenly you're driving for 40 minutes and you're, looking at your GPS and you're like, where are we going? I said First Street, and the next thing you're getting shanked because they know you're from out of town. Teos, New Mexico is what they call it. If I ever fished in Utah, here's the thing, no. I don't believe I have. I've never fished in Utah, and I should, because all of Salt Lake is in Idaho fishing, so I should go. They're on the Henry's Fork. No, I haven't, but I would like to. I would like to fish the Provo and the Weber and the this and the that, but I don't. Wait, hold on. No, maybe I did. Wait, was I? Okay, the Dutch John. Out of Dutch John, I fished that river. What's that river called? The Green River with Colby Crossland. Is that in Utah? It might be. That's in Utah. I fished in Utah one time, folks. I just now remembered. It was fantastic. Colby Crossland Spinner Fall guide service out of Dutch John. Fantastic guys. If you ever want to fish that river, those are the people to call. Ask for Colby or ask for any of them. Every single one of those guys are fantastic. Guys and ladies are fantastic guides and good people, and so go there. Anyway, so there's a lot of questions about where I've fished everywhere. I'm thinking about, how they do the state, like I always say, put a state on it. People are like, hey, we've got a fly shop and we want to sell more, t-shirts, put a state on it, right? If you're in Idaho, put Idaho on it. If you're in Montana, put Montana on it. If you're in Washington, put Washington on it. If you're in California, put Montana on it. So, I mean, that's the thing. You want to just put a state on it. People are going to buy it. So, I don't remember how. Oh, but I was thinking I'm just going to get the United States and then so I got it covered, like, fish, and then just a picture of the United States. And then you got it covered. And Alaska. I don't know why I'm pointing to myself right here. It's getting weird. But, I'd have Alaska and Hawaii on there too. If anybody knows anything about fishing in Kauai, I'm going to Kauai in a few weeks, and I would love to hear about it. I'm also going to be fishing at the end of March for red drum and black drum and I don't know what else out of New Orleans. So we're going to go to New Orleans at the end of March. So if anybody's down in that area, then hit me up on hambone@troutjousters.com, especially if you own a hotel. If you own a hotel, you should definitely hit me up. Or if you own a restaurant, or as they say in New Orleans, a restaurant. No, that's my dad. My dad says restaurant. Okay, so those are some places I've fished. What time is it, Jake? 6:48. We got like just a few more minutes. So if you have some awesome questions, make sure to keep posting them over here. If Jake sees anything that jumps out at him as an amazing question, he will make sure to alert me to it. What else? Oh, here, we can all vote. I've got some ideas for some new episodes. And so we should vote right here. And then you can, again, I hesitate to say this because some son of a bitch is going to then come out like next week with a video about something that I've already said I'm going to make a video about. And then there will be a bar, likely low, but still the bar will exist. And then I'm going to, then I got to try to exceed it with my own idea. So anyway, if you hear this on my show right now, don't run out and get a camera. All right. Hot spotting. Thinking about doing a video talking about hot spotting because I think it's a super funny issue. A cooking episode, right? Where I cook something. Because I should, why not teach people how to cook in the great outdoors? I've got a whole series of things that annoy me while I'm fishing. And it's typically the actions of someone else. And it doesn't take much, as you know, to get on my nerves. And so I've written an entire series that all start with, you know what else annoys me? Or you know what else bothers me? Or you know what else pisses me off? And that's the opening line to every single one of those videos. So that's an idea. And then, I have been putting together a conservation plan, Hank's conservation plan. It's based on keeping people from going into the outdoors. And then how to row a drift boat or a raft. That's something that I've been thinking about putting together. Just straight up. How do you row? How do you get on the sticks? And so those are the ideas. And so you can all vote right now. You can tell me what one you're most interested in, and then I'll end up doing whatever the hell I want, or whatever's cheapest or easiest. Jake?
Jordan Allen has a special request, and I'm sure there's an awesome backstory.
Yes, Jordan Allen has a request.
Please say aloud, Hunter, please stop drinking Coors.
Hunter, come on, man. Stop drinking Coors. I don't mind a Coors. I mean, if it's around, I got Coors in the fridge right now. But come on, Hunter. Stop it. But, if that's all you got, drink a Coors. Cooking would be a good one, right? Yeah, good. Okay. Cooking. Love Hank. You should collaborate with Hugh Fly Fisher. Okay. Do the episode you talked about on the podcast. Really want you, blah, 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 blah. Don't take their crap, Hunter. Yeah, Hunter, you drink what you want, for crying out loud. Don't loop me into this. I'm just doing a favor to somebody listening to the show. I mean, maybe, you're not there. Maybe Hunter's like 37 Coors deep. And it's like, hey, man, slow it down. Well, I mean, that could be the backstory of this thing. So, Hunter, take care of yourself. Yeah, what pisses me off should be right? I'm leaning that direction. I don't even see all these. And do an episode about Euro nymphing. Okay, I have been thinking about doing that too. And by the way, if I see this come up in a video, it's gonna just... Anyway, I get antsy about, this sort of thing. But I said the other day, because I think it's true, that Euro nymphing has become the yoga of fly fishing. Because if you know anybody that does yoga, all they ever talk about is the fact that they do yoga. My friend Eric is a Euro nympher, and that's all the guy talks about. It's like constantly all about the 75 different types of Euro nymphing he's doing. And I like Euro nymph. Don't get me wrong. I've kind of gotten into it, and I think it's fun, so don't come at me. But yeah, it's the Spanish Euro nymphing. It's the Czech nymphing. It's the Czech Spanish nymphing. There's so many different things. And so then, and then if you're into that, then you talk about it at constantly ad nauseum. And then so it's just like yoga, because if anybody that takes up yoga, the day after they take up yoga, they come into work or oh boy, oh God, Bob, what's wrong? It's I did yoga this morning. Yeah, I'm doing yoga now. I'm pretty into yoga. I got up early and did my yoga. I've started a yoga practice, they call it. It's a practice, not a perfect. I'm doing a yoga practice now, and it's like, man, how long you been doing that? About a week and a half. And then the only way you'll ever know that Bob stopped doing yoga is he stopped talking about it. Right? So anyway, I've thought about that. I've thought, man, Euro nymphing is the yoga fly fishing, I call it. And it's a great thing to do, as is yoga. You've got your yin practice, and you've got your yawn practice, and yin is the only one I know. I think there's other types, but that's the only one I know. Tenkara is the rollerblading of fly fishing. Oh, okay. I'm here just saying, hey, don't steal my ideas, but man, I'm stealing that. Tenkara, the rollerblading of fly fishing. I've always been a little curious. Jake, what did you read that was so funny? You read something funny. Is it something we can repeat? We should not repeat it. So I'll go back later and look at all the comments, but apparently we had one that we should not repeat. Check out the beginning. Okay. You got any $500 jackets? I don't. That's something that I don't have. I don't have a coat. I have a ski jacket, I guess, for when I go skiing. But I don't really own coats. People always think that's weird. They're like, well, don't you have a coat? I'm like, I have a hoodie. It's like a coat. Anyway, my decade resolution is fishing the Uralic River guide service you used. Float Alaska, which is not really a guide service. Jake was on that trip. That was, look, hey, email me, hambone@troutjousters.com. If you're going to go do that river, I've got some things to inform you of. First, and let me just preface this with I'd have you call my buddy Eric that owns Float Alaska. I think it's floatalaska.com. I think. Eric Elliott. And I would have you get in touch with him, and he'll steer you in the right direction. But there's a few things, some tips on floating that river that I would give you so email me. Because it's fantastic. Fantastic. Is that it? floatalaska.com. Yeah. And if you book a trip, tell him he owes me $500 so I can buy that jacket. Let's do a giveaway. Oh, man, this is a tougher one. In Camp Hagadagada, if you've ever seen that, Camp Hagadagada, at one point, I'm asking people what to do in an emergency. I keep looking at myself, and I shouldn't. I ask people, what do you do in case of an emergency? And Wally says, stop, blank, and roll. What's the blank? Stop, blank, and roll. But because he doesn't say drop. Stop, drop, and roll. He says something else. So what does Wally say in Camp Hagadagada when I say, what do you do in case of an emergency? This is an easy one. Drink. Yes. Run. No. Drink. Evan. Is that the first one? Evan? Good job, Evan. Drink. Stop, drink, and roll. So I have a stop, drink, and roll design on my website. And now, Evan, you get one. So email me your size. Email me your something else. What else? Address. I need an address and your size, and I will have one of those sent to you. Oh, and your favorite color of t-shirt. And if we have it, I'll send it in that color. And if not, then too bad. What else? Okay, so that was a good one. Who else? Or maybe I should do another giveaway, but I don't have any other questions. Answered some questions. I've got notes. I took notes. Can you believe it? I talked about the F3T. Wally's coming, doing some live shows. Hey, email me if you'd be interested in us doing a live show in your town, because we're trying to decide on a few towns to do some live shows. And we are leaning towards the Salt Lake area. Doing one in Denver for TU, but we may come do our own. Montana. We're in the Northwest, and so that's why we start leaning in that direction. But if we get some response from some other further away places, then I would come and do some live shows there. And the live show is like me talking a lot, but it's actually planned out, and so it's not like this. It's almost as good. Okay, oh man, so we got just a couple more minutes and then we're going to sign off. Tomorrow, just so you know, earlier, oh God, did you hear that? My knuckles cracked. Man, it's like I'm going to fight somebody. I'd lose, right? I get my ass handed to me. Here's a question, how does a smart ass like you not get your ass kicked a lot? Big friends, super big friends, and I don't go outside. Okay, so, hey, here's the thing. Hank Patterson's How to Make an Award-Winning Fly Fishing Film Tour film is going for a while, not forever, but for a while, is going to be on this YouTube channel. It's a 34-minute movie. It's the final cut that we've shown around at a few places or whatever, but I thought, you know what, I haven't put some stuff out in a while, so I'll share that entire thing on the YouTube. And I know some people bought it. Now it's going to be free. Thank you for the support. We'll put that money towards beer. But anyway, so yeah, so that's going to be, we're going to put that on YouTube tomorrow. So starting tomorrow for a little while and for a period of time, that will be on YouTube for free to watch. Hank Patterson's How to Make an Award-Winning Fly Fishing Film Tour film, I think is what we called it. And please listen to the podcast. If you haven't, that's super. I love it. I'm having a hell of a time doing it. Hank Patterson's Outdoor Misadventures, found everywhere. I feel like I got a bug. God, I'm looking at it. Okay, I didn't have one, and it doesn't matter. Hank Patterson's Outdoor Misadventures podcast, found where you get podcasts, and hopefully enjoy that. What else, Jake? Is that it? Follow, Instagram, I check the Instagrams. at Hank Patterson on Instagram, I believe. And then at Fly Fishing Guide Hank Patterson. I should know this, on Facebook. And hey, keep following some stuff, especially the podcast, because we do talk a lot about some stuff we're going to do in the future, and we really will it'll be a couple months or whatever, but we're going to start putting out a few more videos this year. It's been a while, and so just needed some time off, and now I don't. I need a job is what I need. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I broke my fly rod listening to your advice. Yeah, well, yeah, then you're doing it right, and that's why you get the lifetime guarantee. It's like if you're casting it right, you're going to break one every month or so. I mean, it depends on how often you go fishing, but they're going to break. If you're casting it right, if you're putting the right energy into your cast, it's going to snap. At one point, it's going to snap. And that's how you know you're doing it right. You either break a fly rod or you tear a labrum. That is how you know you're doing it right. Bam, you did it right. And then when you return it to whoever you bought it from, and you're like, hey, I need a replacement because I got a lifetime guarantee. And they're like, oh, what happened? You said, I cast it right. I did it right. I did it how Hank said to do it. Drop my name. Say it. Hank said to cast it like this. I cast it like that. It broke. And the respect is what's going to come back at you. They're going to probably send you 2 fly rods. Keep on casting it right is what they're going to say. Hank knows. He knows. All right. Snap it, snap it, snap it. Something about message retracted. What does that mean? No, shit, I shouldn't say that. I listened for the snap. I heard it once. Yep, bam, Dale. Doing it right. Okay, folks, I think that's it. Man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in for Beers with Hank. We'll do this again. Like I said, we do it every single month on Patreon, patreon.com/Hank Patterson. We do this and some other stuff with the podcast. The podcast, obviously, is free, and so please go listen to that. And watch for some new videos to start dropping soon. Check out Hank Patterson's How to Make an Award-Winning Fly Fishing Film Tour film coming tomorrow. And but we'll be back on YouTube. We'll do some more live streaming stuff soon. We'll figure out a way to even up our game, which, we wanted to set the bar tonight right where it is what we wanted to do, so that the next time we do one of these, we don't have to do much more. Not much more will be expected, and there we are. So take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and that's it. Bye.